This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Friday morning, September 12th. Big weather day in state history on this date in 1979, 35 years ago. Hurricane Frederick hit Mobile and Alabama's Gulf Coast. It was a big issue then. The tropics are quiet now, but we have a cold front in the neighborhood, so wet at times today. For the weekend, again, the weather all depends on where you live in the state, with the front basically bisecting Alabama. So let's go in there and take a look and see if we can explain everything and answer your questions. This is the water vapor satellite view early this morning. It's a battle between the warm ridge here in the deep south and a cold trough in the northern states. The surface boundary is actually analyzed here down into central Alabama, but the dry air really lags behind that boundary you see there. We'll stay in moist air today, and this was the radar at 4:54 this morning. A number of showers and storms over the northern half of the state, and we'll expect occasional showers and storms today and tonight. Not going to rain all day, but it will rain at times. And there could be some rain around for the high school football games tonight. So again, I would take something to protect yourself in case the rain comes. Huge thermal contrast. 20s and 30s and snow back in the cold air over Montana, Wyoming. Even Denver could see a few snowflakes this morning. But a sharp gradient just north of the state. And we'll stay in the warm, humid air today. Up on the watch warning map, the big story, all those frost and freeze warnings up north. The first taste of winter. And down here in the south, we have flash flood watches for parts of West Texas. This is the overall rain for the next 5 days. Numbers are coming up. This has got the bigger rains over southeast Alabama. In fact, down there, this is suggesting rain amounts of over 2 inches. And the amounts are much lighter over the northwestern part of the state. This is valid through Wednesday morning of next week. And there is that little disturbance in the Gulf, and that raises some questions. And it looks like the guys at WPC, the guys that make these maps, are maybe considering that tropical wave lifting northeast, enhancing the rain through parts of southeast Alabama and Georgia and the Carolinas. We'll take a look at that here. In the tropics, we have 3 items to discuss. A new wave that's coming off the coast of Africa, south of the Cape Verde Islands. Tropical storm Edouard in the central Atlantic. And the wave that's near West Palm Beach. Edouard is no problem. That will likely become a hurricane next week, but this will recurve into the open Atlantic. No threat to land. This is the one to watch for us. This is the disturbance that is centered around West Palm Beach, Florida. Very disorganized, obviously. If something can get its act together, there seems to be 2 possible scenarios. One, it stays in a southern track and winds up on the Texas coast around Corpus Christi. The other is a more northerly track, and it gets hung up in the westerlies, and it recurves. Maybe over parts of Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas. And the big question is, can this thing get its act together at all? Most models don't develop this. This is the intensity guidance. Only 1 or 2 really ramp it up to a tropical storm. And the ridge will be replaced by stronger winds aloft and troughing next week, and that will make for a harsh environment. So for now, we're not going to consider this in our forecast because odds of development are low, but as we've talked about, the Gulf has a lot of latent heat energy. It's not been touched all season, so you got to keep an eye on these things, and we will. All right, model fans, this is the GFS, the OZ run, valid today at 1 o'clock local time. This is at 500 millibars, and there's your battle. 591 heat ridge down here, cold trough up north. Down below that, we stay in a muggy air mass, and we'll expect a number of showers and storms about today. Let's check the high-res HRRR. This is valid today at 4 o'clock, and you can kind of see the effect of the dry air. By 4 o'clock this afternoon, looks like the dry air wins the battle for places like Hamilton and Cullman and maybe Gadsden. But Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston stays wet at times. And that could be the setup for the high school football games tonight. Better chance of a shower near and south of Interstate 20 tonight for those high school games. All right, tomorrow. Yeah, it's Saturday. A lot of people asking questions, and you can see the GFS is kind of depicting a very sharp boundary there with the possibility of showers south of a line from near Heflin to Montgomery and Mobile. North of that line, no rain tomorrow afternoon. This is the high-res NAM valid tomorrow at 5 o'clock. This is kickoff time. This is 4 o'clock tomorrow, 1 hour before kickoff time. University of Alabama plays Southern Miss at 5 o'clock, and it shows nothing. The overall idea, the confidence is pretty good now, I think we start the day with clouds tomorrow morning, maybe some drizzle or a touch of light rain in spots, so don't be shocked if you see that tomorrow morning. And then I think the afternoon and tomorrow night will be dry for the northern half of the state. But I'm not so sure the clouds get out of here in this kind of situation. The sun might break out a little bit, but the sky could be mostly cloudy during the day. And if that's the case, we might have a hard time getting out of the 70s. The high might be 80 or 81. So again, morning clouds, maybe a touch of light rain and drizzle. The sun might peek out a little bit tomorrow afternoon, but there's no guarantee on that. And I do think most of the afternoon and tomorrow night dry for Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, and points north. All right, this is Sunday. Pretty much the same deal. We're bisected. This is suggesting showers possible south of a line from near Ranburne to Clanton to Thomasville. The northern half of the state dry. This is the high-res NAM Sunday at 1 o'clock. Looks very dry. So that's the deal. I think that day will be mostly dry. The sun may be out at times. The deeper moisture stays down south. This is next week. The boundary is going to fizzle out, and the moisture starts to come back, so I think we'll mention some risk of a shower Monday, and that'll be the case basically every day next week. There's no big dynamic support for rain. This is Tuesday. Just the chance of showers. Wednesday looks relatively wet. That's a good moisture surge coming in. But again, even there, it's just not going to be a total washout. Thursday looks a little drier with that wave moving onto the east. And this is a week from today. This is Friday. And again, heights about where they should be. Down below that, the air looks relatively dry. And temperatures will be about where they should be, low to mid-80s. Let's go out there on September 21st. Hey, on Sunday the 21st, the GFS depicts a tropical system just south of Biloxi, Mississippi, but we all know this is probably bogus. No need to panic. These come and go. Could it happen? Yes, but doesn't mean it will. There's no skill in a forecast out here. And this is September 27th, the end of the forecast, toward the end of the month. Again, heights about where they should be, and down below that, evidence of another tropical system in the western Gulf. You know, I'm telling you, the Gulf is just a pool of heat energy waiting to be tapped. If anything can happen, you know, it could pop pretty quick if the winds aloft are correct. Here's the temperature coming off the ensembles, and again, the 90s are pretty much over. I don't think we see the 91 today. I don't think we reach that. Highs, 80s, upper 70s, all the way through the end of September. But no sign of any really, you know, the cold air with 40s in here. That first really, really good front of the fall season. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream of the television site, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.